Over the next 5 videos, we're going to start and grow your freelance copywriting business in the fastest, most efficient, and fun way possible. This is because you're getting the exact blueprint that I use to go from charging 20 cents per word per copywriting project to my first $3,000 project in just 3 months. You're also getting everything I've learned over the last 5 years of being a freelance copywriter that allows me to charge up to $40,000 per project and streamline my business to just a few hours a day. And even though I will be talking about copywriting as an example, this blueprint works for any freelance service-based business, which means that if you offer any services to a business, creative or otherwise, this video will allow you to drastically increase your profits and downsize the amount of hours you work, and ultimately giving you the full-time freedom. The goal of this series is to give you the easiest way to start your freelance copywriting business that generates you more money part-time than your current full-time job, regardless of your age, where you come from, or any business experience whatsoever. My goal here is to remove confusion and install certainty, help you gain confidence in place of uncertainty, and replace fear with possibilities. Using this blueprint that you're about to get, allow me to pay off my student loans, my credit card debt, travel the world, live in 6 countries, and be in complete and total charge of my time and my life. It also gave me an opportunity to rub shoulders with people like Joe Polish, who's a very famous marketer and multimillionaire, or have impromptu dinners with people like Rich Sheffran, who is the guru of all gurus, and also somebody who studied under one of the OG legends, Jay Abraham. That said, you're watching this video because you belong into one of the 3 categories. You're either totally brand new to copywriting, who's hella confused about where to even start, or you have a year or 2 behind your belt, but you're really bloody tired of chasing clients and going through feast and famine and that type of stuff. Or you've been in the game for some time and you are always looking to improve your skill. So here's how to consume this video to get the most out of it based on your category. If you are a freelance virgin, I recommend you watch this video from start to finish and get familiar with the concepts and the roadmap. You then should come back to watching this video again, take notes, and identify your action plan. If you belong to the category of people who have a few years and a bit of experience behind their belt, but you're tired of chasing clients, I would still recommend you watching this video from start to finish and then come back and take notes. Lastly, if you're a pro and just seek to improve your skill, then feel free to skip to the part that you think will be the most valuable to you. But if you came here for entertainment, this video is not for you. Even though I will make my best to make this video entertaining, this is going to be an in-depth video. This means you won't just get an outline of what you should do, so then I can sell you course later. This video is the actual course. I'm not holding anything back and giving you everything for free. So in this first video, we're going over why choosing the right niche is absolutely crucial for your success as a freelance copywriter. And then I will show you how to choose the right one so you can generate more money part-time than you currently making during your full-time job. And lastly, we're going to talk about why you absolutely must have a differentiator factor to set yourself apart and completely destroy the competition. And then I will show you how to do that to attract clients easily so they actually come to you asking you to work with them, even if you're brand new. But this, of course, is the first step in creating a business that allows you to be in charge of your life. Because of this, in the following videos, we're going to cover creating a portfolio to attract the right clients, even if you don't have any experience at all. Then we'll talk about the secret to a full client roster so you never have to wonder about where your next client is coming. After, I will show you the secrets to personal branding and how to stand out in 2025 with all that AI craze. We'll talk about the reverse networking concept that allows you to attract all the right clients, almost like a magnet, and help you get inside the rooms with highly influential people just like I have. Lastly, we will secure your success with skill development, streamlining your business, and my special productivity powerhouse tactic that allows me to condense 12 hours of work in just 4 hours. But you might be wondering, why in the world would I give all of this information for free? And that is a solid concern. So in the spirit of transparency and honesty, as those are the values that I take with me everywhere I go, here's the honest answer. A former mentor of mine once told me, give as much valuable information as possible, but do sell implementation. And this is what I'm doing here. And this is the same strategy I teach all of my students to help them get to the 6 figures as a freelance copywriter. And it's the same strategy I will be sharing with you over the next 5 videos in this series. That said, if you're watching this video and you feel like you don't just want to know how to start and grow your 6-figure freelance business, but you actually want to have a 6-figure freelance business, and you want to do that in the shortest time possible, then you can grab the templates down below or join my community, but that is not necessary. If you're someone who's okay with taking time to learn everything, to implement everything, to make as many mistakes as possible, and do all of that yourself, then please binge watch this series. It's going to give you everything that you need. And if you enjoy it and would like to pay me back, all you can do is just like this video, subscribe, and share it with somebody who might find this helpful. All right, let's just get straight into it. Now, the first thing that I did that allowed me to go from charging 20 cents per word per project to my first $2,000 was choosing the right niche. This is something I see brand new and seasoned copywriters alike struggling with. They want to be able to make money, but they actually want to enjoy what they're doing. So I'll show you how to balance both, because not having the balance leads to one of 2 problems. First problem is you either make money, but you absolutely hate what you're doing. As a result, the quality of your deliverables lacks, and your clients start firing you. And so you have to then start chasing clients and basically go from project to project. That is not fun. The second problem is that you love what you write about, but you're barely making any money. This makes you take on a lot of projects, which makes you work nonstop. And I think we can both agree that this is not something that you want, isn't it? Now, this usually happens because a copywriter or freelancer chooses a niche that is so small and there is absolutely no money being made. So as you can see, it is quite important to balance both. But this struggle with choosing the right niche is actually quite common among beginner copywriters. This is something I struggle with, and it did hold me back. Allow me to illustrate. When I turned into copywriting, I decided that I will be working with coaches who help women over 40 to lose weight. This is a very specific niche, and the reason I chose that was because I knew a lot about the topic because I came from that background, and it was a fairly easy way to start. But I quickly realized that even though this was very easy to start with, there weren't a lot of people who were willing to pay me big bucks. I mean, in the end, most fitness coaches are quite broke. In fact, my first paying client, who was a coach, paid me 20 cents, actually less than 20 cents per word per project, which came down to be $600 for a massive project. And this is what happens to a lot of freelancers. They choose such a small niche that there is no money in it, and they end up struggling big time. But the truth is, you have to be smart about choosing the niche. And to do that, you first have to look at the size of the niche. And there are only 5 big niches that have enough money for everyone. These are love and relationships. So think anything about dating, how to get the girl, how to get the guy, how to fix the marriage, and so forth and so on. Then we have wealth. Think about how to make money online. Then we have health. Health is basically anything fitness and wellness and supplements and so forth and so on. Next one is B2B, which is basically helping businesses with lead generation. And then we have financial. So think anything about stocks, trading, bonds, and crypto. There are millions of dollars circulating in those niches at any moment. So looking at the size is the first step. The second step is to choose something that you are semi-interested or not opposed to learning about that niche. For example, if you enjoy reading the romance novels, or if you enjoy learning about the relationship between men and women, the psychology with, then going into the love/dating relationship niche would be a good idea for you. Or if you're like myself and you're a health nut and you live and breathe the gym, the supplements, and that stuff, potentially going to the health would be a really good idea for you. This is starting to make sense now, doesn't it? Once you choose the niche, the next step is start learning about this niche. This involves searching for existing products, studying the existing copy, beginning to research the prospects, and getting familiar with the language of that niche. Now, you might not have a client just yet, But doing these things will absolutely help you crush it for your client, which ultimately will help you to make as much money as you would like. And we will cover how to do that in the following videos. Now, at this point, you might know which niche to choose, but you have no idea what services to offer and how to price those. But don't worry, this is exactly what we're going to cover next. Here's a mistake that 95% of all copywriters make. They offer a lot of different services. Think about email marketing, Facebook ads, landing pages, website copy, content creation, and so forth and so on. The idea is that the more you offer, the more clients and the more money you make. But let me show you how doing so actually pushes the high-ticket clients away and keeps you poor. Say you have a toothache and you're searching for somebody in your city to help you fix the problem. And while you're looking for a dentist in your area, all you see are doctors who dabble in dentistry and cardiology and gynecology and nutrition. Would you go to any of those doctors to fix your specific problem? Probably not. Instead, you will be looking for a specialist, right? It's the same with offering copywriting services. It's better to become a specialist first before you become a generalist, because being a specialist allows you to charge higher prices and work with lesser number of clients. So the question then becomes, what type of services do you provide? To answer these questions, we have to look at something that I call cash distance. This means which offer can give you the shortest distance to cash. So let's say you want to make $10,000 a month. Here's how you could go about it. You could have 100 clients that pay you $100. Sure, you're gonna make $10,000, but you're probably going to be working nonstop and barely would leave your house. Or you can work with 3 to 4 clients charging anywhere between $2,000 to $5,000, and you will be able to make anywhere between $7,000 to $20,000 a month. Or you could also work with just one client, charge them $10,000 a month, and you're going to get to your goal. Now, most people think that this last option is the shortest distance to cash, but that's actually the longest, and here's why. To be able to charge $10,000 per project, you have to offer what I call a full package offer, meaning you would need to know how to write the sales pages, the Facebook ads, the emails, maybe even creating the entire funnel. And sure, there are people who charge anywhere between $20,000 to $40,000 per sales page, and I am one of those people, but you have to realize that tackling on that project takes a lot of time, energy, and effort. And even with AI, it still can take anywhere between 3 weeks to 6 weeks to finish just one project. So even though you are getting a lot of money up front, you're putting a lot of time and effort and energy, and it takes you way longer than just a month to deliver the project. And this limits your income ability. So what's the shortest distance to cash? It's actually offering email marketing as a service, especially if you're a beginner. Later on, you can add Facebook ads and maybe writing landing pages and the entire funnel creation to your skill set. But for now, you should start with the email services. And the cool thing about emails is that it is a consumable product, which means that the client needs emails every single month, which means they need your services on a monthly basis. And this means you can make money on repeat. Another cool thing about email marketing is that you can work with 3 to 5 clients per month, and this way you can help more businesses, you can make more money, and you can actually sharpen your skill much faster. Another thing is that you can actually use templates to streamline your business, and I will show you how to do that in the following videos. But now that you know this, how can you turn this knowledge into an offer? First thing to keep in mind is that the more money you make for your client, the more you can charge. This can range anywhere between $2,000 to $50,000 per project. So here's an example of services you can provide. The first example would be a simple email copy. You can offer this as a package. So you could say you could write 10 emails per month, or you can offer it as a retainer, which means that you will be writing 10 emails every single month until you and your client decide to part ways. Depending on the emails you write per month, you can charge anywhere between $2,000 for $7,000 for this service. Now, a retainer simply means is a client pays you monthly on a contractual basis. So kind of think of it as almost like a salary, but you dictate how much you're going to charge. This way, you don't have to constantly hunt for clients. You actually have a much better stability of income. One way to influence potential clients I use is offering them 10% of my actual rate. So for example, if I'm charging $1,500 for 10 emails, what I could do is I can offer my client 10 emails a month for just $1,300 instead of $1,500. But if you don't want to discount your services and if you want to actually make more money a month, here are two things you can do. You can either add to your monthly email services an additional service, which is either writing launches or launch emails sequences for the client, or you can take care of the existing automations, email automations for a client, and or write a new automations for the client. And when you add those extra services, you can actually charge more money. I've seen some people charge anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 a month for these services. Another thing you could do or you could start with is actually offering Facebook/Meta ads, which is also a very consumable product. The clients really need that. And you can nail the writing the Facebook ads fairly quickly. And you can also charge for that anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month as well. Lastly, if you are more skilled, what you could do is you can actually package your services and offer that to a client for a set deal, let's say between $10,000, maybe $20,000, maybe even $50,000 per project. I personally charge $40,000 per project these days. Now, another thing to keep in mind is revisions and deadlines. When you offer email packages, you deliver emails either daily, weekly, or monthly, depending on your deal. The same goes with the Facebook ad. And for both emails and Facebook ads, usually the number of revisions is very small. It ranges between like 0 to 1. But if you're offering a packages, then that could take you to deliver anywhere between 3 weeks to potentially 6 weeks. And you would have to have a big number of revisions, anywhere between 3 to 5, because it does take time to sort of nail down the voice and take care of pretty much a lot of other things that a lot of people don't really think of, such as staying compliant, for example, or writing a very compliant copy. For me personally, I've always preferred to start with the email copywriting. This is what I did. This is what I teach my students so they can get to 6 figures as freelancers as fast as possible. And this allows them and me work with multiple clients, get my hands in a lot of different niches, sharpen my skill, and I can do all of that without actually having to focus on one thing for 8 weeks straight. And if you're wondering how to handle the multiple client workload, don't worry. I'll be covering all of the secrets in the video number 4, so be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Knowing this, you can take the above guide and start writing out a rough draft of your basic services. You can also start thinking about the price and outlining what exactly you're going to be offering, as well as deliverables and the revision. One thing to keep in mind is actually offer your potential clients different packages. So for example, you can offer just email services, you can offer email service plus automations, or email services plus automations plus launch emails. And each of those packages is gonna cost more to your client, but at least they have options. But do keep in mind, you still want to keep your packages and your offers as simple as possible, because remember, confused mind rarely says yes. But we're not done yet. There is still one more thing left to do, and that is to show your prospects what makes you different than anybody else. And here's the kicker. While most people fear the competition, here's the ultimate truth about it. Competition doesn't actually exist. The only competition that is happening is within yourself and inside of your head. It is when we start comparing ourselves to other people. So here is how to take that comparison and flip it on its head and use it as your strength to become completely competition resistant. Now, before we do that, I want you to think about your shopping habits and think about, say, you see 2 almost identical products. What is the first thing that you think about? Chances are it's probably something along the lines of what makes this product different from that product. Well, it's the same with your potential clients. So it makes sense to address this concern as soon as possible so that they actually don't have that question in mind. If you begin to think that you're falling off the ability to stand out, let me assure you that things are not as dire as you might think. There is a simple trick that you can use that yields massive results. Better yet, you don't have to create anything new. You don't even have to get super creative. You already have everything you need to create your differentiator factor. All you need to do is to look at your past experiences, things that makes you you. To illustrate, let me share a story with you. One of my very first paying clients was interviewing multiple copywriters for the gig. There was about 60 something potential hires. It was a supplement company, and their audience were folks that are more on the conservative side and a little bit older. Now, the prospect was asking for anywhere between 2 to 3 years of experience, but the problem was I didn't have any. I was just starting out. That being said, what I did have was experience working at a pharmacy as a pharmacy technician. This meant that I knew the audience, I understood the audience, I knew their pain points, how much they hated taking medications, how much they hated that their life came to being actually glued to the couch and not being able to move. So I took that experience and showed the prospect that I understood their audience on the level that nobody else could. I sealed the deal and I worked with that client for 2 years. When I found this differentiator factor within myself, I knew that the competition did not exist whatsoever. And I was right. So when you begin to compare yourself, start looking at the experience that only you had, because almost any experience can be turned into strength and help you stand out. For example, if you come from a past career, you can use that knowledge and experience to beef up your copywriting business. Because what this allows you to do is target a very specific audience, create templates, and streamline your business to the point where you only work a few hours a day. But even if you don't have any prior experiences, or like I do, or a career, you can look into the hobbies and interests that you have. For example, let's say you like me and you absolutely love surfing. Even though this is a very specific niche, it's still considered to be going under umbrella of health, and it is a very, very lucrative business because surfing as a hobby is really expensive, and I know that. But because you're one of the very few copywriters who actually know surfing and love surfing and understands a lot about surfing and surfers, you can be one in a million that client hires you and there is absolutely zero competition. And when you can deliver a really great copy and you do it fast, you become absolutely unstoppable because your offer is irresistible. And from there, you can create the templates and streamline your business to work just a few hours a day. The more experience you have, the more wins for clients, past or present, from different careers, from different backgrounds you have, the more clients you can actually get and the more money you can make. But ultimately, the thing that will give you the highest leverage and the highest price point is demand. When you're extremely good at what you do, and when you tell people that you're extremely good at what you do, and you have a very limited ability, people would want to work with you. Even if you charge $40,000 per project, just like I do. Getting into a habit of prospecting and adding people into a pipeline all the time is always a good thing. And don't worry, we're going to talk about how to do it the right way in the following video. But do keep in mind, this didn't happen overnight. Rather, all of that success happened over time, thanks to the combination of the techniques that I'm sharing with you over this series of these videos. This is great news because if you're following everything to the T that I'm sharing here with you, you will succeed. All you have to do is to decide if you want to know everything you need to know about starting and growing six-figure business, or if you actually want to have a six-figure freelance business. So if you're brand new, don't look at the big number. Don't compare your beginning of the journey to somebody's step number 100. Because the thing is, I used to be in your shoes and I did charge $600 for my very first massive project. And even that amount of money was mind-boggling. Over time, I went on to charging $40,000 per project with confidence in my abilities. So how do you go from there to confidently closing such big deals? You start with the basic services, you charge the number that makes you feel scared, but still just a little bit comfortable. And then you go up from there. Before you know it, you are in my shoes. One more thing to mention is how much you should charge when you're just starting out, potentially for a very first gig. I used to suggest to work for free, but now I actually don't do that anymore. I think the best way, the best win-win situation is when you offer your client to work for a percentage of the profit that your work generates. This way, you put your best foot forward, but then the client also doesn't really risks anything yet they're still invested in your best work. So they will be cooperating with you much better. And this way you can get the experience, the case study, and the money as well. Okay, this might seem like a lot of information, and it is. So if you feel a little overwhelmed, that is totally fine. But my goal is to make all of this as simple as possible so you can start taking action today. And to help you with this, here's your step-by-step guide of what you need to do next. First step is to grab my template on how to get clear on your offer. Whether you're starting from scratch or come from a background, this template will give you clarity on where to start, what to offer, and how much you should charge for it. Feel free to steal my 3-pack package I share with you in this video. And don't fret about not being sure on how to deliver any of these services, because I go everything you need to deliver your client great results in video number 3. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. The next step is to create a portfolio that attracts high-ticket clients, which we'll cover in the next video. After you create a portfolio and a client says yes to the call, you then would need to prepare for the call so you don't lose a potential client. After that, you would need to prepare for the call with the prospect and ace it so they are ready to send you the check. We will cover this in the next video as well. And after, we will go over building your personal brand using the reverse networking to create an endless pipeline of potential clients, and we will talk about the type of content you need to create to attract the right client. And lastly, in the video number 5, I'll show you how to put everything together, start slowly, and move with full force. These 5 simple steps is all you need to go from $0 to $10,000 as a freelance copywriter. Don't need anything else. So be wary of all the shiny objects that all of the gurus are throwing at you. If any of this works, you would be already ahead of the game. Yet you're still feeling confused and not sure which direction to go. Instead, follow these steps and give yourself time so that in 3, 6, or even 12 months from now, you go from being confused to being focused, from being struggling to being successful, and you will look at this time and the place you're in right now, and you will be grateful that you actually took action today. Lastly, I won't lie to you and say that this is going to be easy and you will see the results overnight. I wish that was the case. But what I do know is with consistency and just a little bit of time and effort, you will make it work. You're already building someone else's business during your 9 to 5. There is no reason why you cannot build your own business outside of those 9 to 5 hours. And if your goal is to live the life on your terms, you have to be comfortable putting in the work now so you can work just a few hours a day in the very near future, just like I did. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.